turns with a tight chicane at the end. So we're in for a pretty good one today here, Rachel.
Absolutely, Donington is one of the favourites of the Monday Night Skippy series. This track really has a lot of variety, and it's one the drivers absolutely love to be part of, so looking forward to a great race.
Drivers just finishing up here. We got just over a minute left of qualifying, so gonna see who can do what here. Benny Simonsen, like we said, on pole at the moment, ahead of Anthony PM Jones. Cat pulled Grillo in 4th, and then Edwards in 5th, so see how that'll all play out. Obviously a lot of people now going on to their final lap, and they're all in groups, so see who can get the best draft and slipstream down the straight, and who can keep it clean. But there's a lot of cars going off as well everywhere, and struggling a bit, so we'll have to see how that plays out. In the championship as well, it's Benny Simonsen leading quite comfortably at 201 points, ahead of Leeu's 174, and then Simon Edwards in 3rd and 165. And it's those three that have been at the top the whole season, and they are the ones looking to battling it out for the championship so far. Edwards obviously had a bad round 1, but he's bounced back so far pretty good in the last few rounds. As we're now on board here with Paul Grillo coming into the final chicane on his well, he's actually gonna get one more lap after this. He has got a few seconds here to get to the start finish line. We'll see if he can make it, and it looks like he will, so he'll actually make it with 2 seconds to spare, so he'll get one more lap. That was actually just an out lap, I think, unless he had an off track. So he's going to be the last car to finish out this qualifying, unless the cars behind him there made it as well. That's going to be very doubtful, but looking like Benny Simonsen is going to be on pole for today.
Yeah, looking at that again, Benny's had a very strong season when it comes to qualifying, so I'm excited to see exactly what he can do with the race. Not the best end last time for him, but these things happen.
Definitely does, and we can see both Grillo and the car behind him there of Ben Daniels going into the gravel, or into the grass, sorry, so that'll be their laps done. SG Dunning still going flat out right behind him, comes flying through, but he's dropped off quite a bit at the beginning of this lap, so don't think that's going to be too much of a lap for him. As here comes Adam Miles, currently in P19 through the last chicane. He goes high up on the curbs there. See what he can do as he comes to the start finish line. Goes across, and that is not even going to be a lap time for him, so maybe he cut it a bit too much there at the end, or maybe he cut it earlier. SG Dunning currently P21 coming into the final chicane as well. See what he can do. You don't really want to cut or hit the gravel anywhere, as that will disqualify your lap straight away. Here he comes, he's going to get a 118.1. That's not going to be an improvement either. He's missing about 3/100ths of a second to do that. And here comes Will Redford as well. I believe that's one of the last cars that's going to get across the line here. And he is not going to make an improvement either. He missed by about half a tenth. So I believe that's about it. That's everybody. And let's go to the starting grid then. Once again, for the 6th time in 7 races, it's Benny Simonsen on pole with a 117.339. Just ahead of Anthony PM Jones in 2nd, Anthony Cat in 3rd. Paul F. Grillo in 4th, and Simon Edwards rounding out the top 5. Then it's Nicholas Von Roberts, Ewan Pattinson, Leeu's, Joe Osborne in P9, and Ben Daniels back in P number 10. Lee Anderson 11th, Adam Tompkins in 12th, Richard Kent in 13th, Andrew Herbst 14th, Clark Williams in 15th, Daniel Tufts P16, Martin Booker in 17th, Andrew Baranowski in 18th, Adam Miles in 19th, and Matt Cox rounding out your top 20. The rest of the grid is up on your screen, and looking at the 1 second bracket like we usually do, 118.339 takes us right to about 23rd or 24th position, as you can see there. So for a lap of almost 1 minute 20 seconds, 23 cars, that's a bit more than we usually have, Rachel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely looking like it's going to be tighter. It's one of those tracks that all these drivers really know, and I think that'll really add to this.
So as you can see here, 42 cars have set lap times. We have 46 cars lined up for the start here, so one car is not showing up. That's Lewis Morga. He's had to pull out late, unfortunately. But the rest of the entries will line up, so Just have to wait for everybody here to take the grid. They've got about 50 seconds to do so, but Benny Simonsen back on pole position yet again. And he's got 2 wins from his previous 5 pole positions, so gonna be interesting to see how he can do that. PM Jones up in second, that's higher than usual, and Paul Grillo making a bit of a surprise there in P4 as well. Also seeing Lee Anderson all the way back in P11. That's going to be very interesting to see what he can do.
Yes, the grid's about to go, I think, as we just get our final cars coming to the grid here. Should be a big push into Redland as the first corner.
Definitely should. The last few cars going all the way back to that chicane, and the last 3 or 4 cars will have to start sideways. Obviously not going to hurt them too much, but it's definitely not going to be a benefit for them, as everybody is on the grid. The engines are revving, and it's lights out. And Chris, sorry, who is that? Anthony Cat, who was supposed to start second. He is no, somebody was missing on the grid. I'm trying to figure out who that was. Maybe that was just it looked like we didn't have a car in second place, and we did not. That was Anthony PM Jones who qualified second. He was not on the grid, so something has happened there. But other than that, everybody else is getting through pretty cleanly. There's a bit of side-by-side further back through the field, but as per usual, about the first 10 cars getting away single file here. So again, PM Jones not making it to the grid for some reason with technical issues. That's unfortunate for him. You can see Simonsen there coming down the hill. Goes very wide out in the gravel. A few more cars behind him doing the same. Coming down here now into, well, up the hill. Actually, we're going into McLean's here. Coming up to Copies for the first time and onto the back straightaway. It's a pretty short lap here, and we've already completed half a lap, Rachel.
Yeah, it's absolutely a short lap. Incredibly fast here at Donington Park National. Very, very high-paced racing. A lot of traffic going to be a factor. And these guys will have that as they come down to that final chicane now. Big nest of cars coming in. Straight lining though at the front of your field, as they'll be a little bit tighter further back, but absolutely breakneck racing here at one of the UK's heartland racetracks, as it's still Benny Simonsen leading the field through here. Again, PM Jones did not get onto the grid there. No update on what's happened to him, but he is not on track at all. No start.
He is not. That's really unfortunate for him. And as it stands now, counting out PM Jones, actually on the first lap there had been no change of positions in the top 17. But as we see here now, there's some passing going on down here, down the hill. But up in the lead, it's still very much the same. Following Lee Anderson here, he didn't have the best of starts, but he's currently running in P10 still here. So looking to make up some positions from pretty poor qualifying effort for him. We're used to seeing him further up the field, but he's being patient, not making too much noise here. Richard Kent right on the back of him, but he's chasing Daniels and Joe Osborne right in front of him. See what he can do there. But this straightaway coming down here to the final chicane, that's going to be very crucial to get a good exit onto, because if you can get some draft on somebody here, you can pretty easily make a pass down into the chicane. As you can see at the front of this group, actually at the front of the field, Cat is looking to the outside of Ben Daniels, Simonsen, but he's not going to be able to do anything. Drilling out right on the back of him as well. If you have a bad run through there, you're going to have a mess all the way down the front straightaway, but nobody able to do really anything. Edwards right on the back of Grillo as well, but Grillo looking on the outside of Anthony Catter. Don't really know if you want to pass around the outside there, as we have a car coming out of the pits right behind these guys, but he's going to stay out. Oh, and there's contact behind. That's Simon Edwards and Paul Grillo going off in the gravel, and carnage everywhere. Cars hitting each other left, right and centre. Osborne is in there. Von Roberts hit somebody. So, and Grillo rejoining onto the track into traffic, but that's going to work out for them. But we saw the aftermath there. I think that was Simon Edwards who came back onto the track and got cleaned out by PM Jones. Von Roberts, sorry, I believe that was.
If you look at the replay, you see them coming into the corner, and you see that Grillo actually has to slow down for the 2 cars ahead of him. I believe here, Edwards goes up the inside to try and avoid him, and then gets closed out by Grillo, who just slides into the apex, knocking him off the track there, and on the grass, not a huge amount of control. Car spinning in front of Edwards as he rejoins. Edwards actually rejoins safely there. It was other cars further up the track, Linus, that had actual contact.
Yeah, somebody checked up for the crash and got ran over from behind by Nicholas Von Roberts, so very unfortunate for them, but I think most of them are able to keep going, even though we have Simon Edwards trying to find where he is down in the order. He dropped, oh, well, he only dropped down to 13th actually. Mon Roberts down to 27th. So unfortunate for them. And meanwhile, the leaders have completed yet another lap. They've now pulled, well, Simonson and Cat, they pulled 1.5 seconds on Lee Hughes in third. And he started all the way back down in 8th, so he's had a really good start. Meanwhile, back here, they're going at it for P7, 8, and 9. Clark Williams is in that. He's going to make a position. They're almost going to be 3 wide there, actually. Williams, Anderson, Tompkins, they're going to be all over each other, but Williams is going to get the P7 right there. Anderson is going to drop back into P9, so he almost made up a position, ended up losing one instead. Meanwhile, Williams makes up 2 positions. You can just see the gravel here on the apex of the corners where people have been cutting the inside of the curb all the way through practice and qualifying. That's going to cause a little bit of an issue if you come offline, so you'll lose a lot of grip. But the front 2 pulled away. Lee Hughes leading this group ahead of Pattinson, Daniels, Kent, Williams, Tompkins, and Anderson in P number 9.
Yeah, that's a great fight. That's what I'm watching right now, leaders, as we have contact just up ahead there. Oh, round goes the 30 of Osborne, left sitting in the middle of the racetrack. As we talked about that group, turns in there, as you'll see here on the replay now. And just a bit of contact there with the 34 of Tufts. Goes round, locks it up tight, and just sits there. That horrible feeling of being in the middle of the racetrack. He tows his car to get it out of the way and for safety's sake, but it was a great battle until all of a sudden it just came to blows.
Yeah, close quarter racing all the way up here, and you can see her onto the straightaway. They just make contact and he spins out, and well, thankfully nobody hits him. A car going off in the grass there, and then I think he just well, he quit out as quickly as he could to get out of the way. There's no real good way to rejoin from there. As you see a car getting really sideways there. That's Will Redford, I believe, who got sideways. It was. But he managed to hold on to that, so he's going to keep on rocking here back in P number 15, so didn't lose too much from that. It looked like it could get a lot worse. A lot of cars in the gravel in front of him as well. That's Kent, Williams, Tompkins, and Anderson going at it still. So people are using up every bit of the racetrack here all the way around. As you can see now, he's coming back on the outside here. Redford getting back into P14. There's a big bunch of 5 cars here though, all over each other. Cars going into gravel again behind him. So gonna try and keep up with all of this all the way through this race, but they're just using up every bit. I'll try that they can. Bridle up the inside now of Miles coming onto the straightaway. He's gonna try and keep up with Redford coming down to the final chicane here, but he's not going to be able to have the optimal line because he's got Adam Miles next to him. Actually, he's going to clear him, so he's going to get in front of him here, and Miles almost going to lose another position here to Kirkman. Oh, and they're going to spin out again. There's another crash. That's Redford spinning himself out, getting collected by, I believe, Bridle and Miles. So now they're 4 wide down the straightaway.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we nearly had a single car spin there by Mark Redford, that was. He was battling with Brown and Koval, and they were having a great time back there. As just going forward, we need to look at this big net of cars around Ashley Beard here. He's sitting behind this big pile of cars, including Grillo, Hurst, Kirkman, Miles and co. The group we were just looking at a second ago, and oh my gosh, this is 2 wide, 2 deep, nearly 3 wide. Oh god, they're all over each other. This is getting very, very hectic back here in about 19th, 20th. Oh, Grillo gets sideways, bit of contact, bit of debris comes off a car, as I believe Grillo just got tagged a little bit there. I think that's someone's front wing that went flying off the track, as Grillo has to dodge and avoid a car there, as this one is absolutely haywire.
Yeah, this is a product of what we just saw there with the spin from Will Redford, and these guys just going at it all the way through here. It's Baranowski ahead of Paul Grillo now. He's right on the back. He's not going to move it up the inside though. Going to try and get him down the straightaway. So still Baranowski leading this group. It's Cox, Maltby and Vaughan Roberts in this as well. Here comes Grillo now up the inside. He's got a lot better run than Baranowski. I think Baranowski might have some damage. Here comes Cox as well, and he's going to clear Baranowski easily. Cox almost going to dive up the inside of Grillo, but he's going to back out, and now they're catching people in front of him as well. That's Andrew Herbst in P18, then Ashley Beard as well, and look at the speed of Grillo. He's going to have a huge run on Herbst too. He's going to get P18 here before this is over with, and then he's going to be right underneath Ashley Beard for P17 as well. So he's definitely got a rocket in the back of that machine. He qualified P4 as well, so in one of those early incidents, so he's definitely got speed in that car, but unfortunately he's all the way back here, and that's producing some great racing for us to watch.
Yeah, of course, that was during the incident there with Simon Edwards. Paul Grillo had dropped back a lot of positions, but right now fighting back here, a lot of speed in the car and not a lot of track to do anything with it, as he goes up the inside here on the car of Ashley Beard, the 7 there. looking for an opportunity, won't get it, and oh gosh, this one's definitely a close fight. As he'll come round up towards Skippys now. Slides through there, looking now for Hurst ahead of him. That's the 85, sorry, not the 55, outside of Miles, like you mentioned, Linus. Up the inside, sliding through the competition. Paul Grillo making waves.
Miles has some front end damage there as well to his wing. You're going to see here now comes Beard as well. Going to have a massive overspeed on Adam Miles, but Paul Grillo making up positions left, right and centre here and almost get another crash there, but they managed to avoid each other. Miles just cutting across the nose of Beard. That's going to slow Beard down, and here comes Herbst now to get P18 side by side and they're side by side behind him as well, but Herbst around the outside for P number 18. They're going to be 3 wide for P20 behind him, with Maltby around the outside. As you can see, he's got 2 cars inside of him. He's going to cut in across one of them though, so that's going to be the 866 of Cox getting P20 from him. Man, this group, they're all over each other, and Von Roberts almost getting squeezed in the grass. There has to back out slightly, and so he's back to 22nd again. He's another car that qualified well, but it's dropped back because of an early incident. But right on the back now of Simon Maltby, still doing what he can to make positions here, but it doesn't look like it's too easy for him to find an opening. He's doing everything he can. He's going to squeeze up the inside there on the curb, but has to back out again, so Maltby going to hold on to that position. Still great racing all the way through this field, trying to keep up on everything. Here he comes inside again, Von Roberts. He's going to be a little bit later on the brakes. He's going to squeeze him out slightly as well. There you can see he's got some damage to his rear wing though, Von Roberts, so not going to be optimal, but he's going to get that position away from Simon Maltby for now. And they're going to be 3 wide at the front of this pack almost, not quite, but that's Beard, Cox, Herbst and Miles all over each other again. That's going to be Beard taking over P17. Cox going to hold on to that, so back to sort of single file racing. They're not really slowing down.
Behind Maltby, Baranowski there looking for an opening. He had a big shot at the last corner. You know, last time I saw a dogfight like this, Linus, at Donington, it was the mock World War I demonstration they had over the skies of the Donington Download Festival. Not a racing track. Held here, of course, Download Festival, Metal Festival, but Iron Maiden actually had a World War I dogfight over the show. Actually, that was pretty impressive, but this is actually more impressive somehow. This racing is incredible here at Donington, and the fight up ahead is also huge. If we just look towards the top 10, big battle going on right now. Lee Anderson watching on from the passenger seat here as Tompkins, Williams, Daniels, Kent absolutely going at it here, and this looks like a mosh pit.
It really does. They're all over each other, and apologies for not following the leaders too much, but they're just nose to tail. They're not really doing anything so far. Simonson leading ahead of Cat, but here we go. Lee Anderson bouncing the curbs hard, trying to get a run on Clark Williams ahead of him. They're nose to tail, 5 cars here. Here we go. Is Lee Hughes going to have a look up the inside of Kent? He is, and there's going to be 3 wide. Daniel's going to dive it in there as well, but he backs out last minute, so Daniel's going to move up into P number 5 ahead of Lee Hughes. Richard Kent right ahead of him as well, so they're side by side, 2 by 2 here. Anderson still trying to find an opening, but he can't do it. That's going to be Daniels though inside of Lee Hughes. He's going to hold on to that position, I think. Uses the inside for the kick, but down here in the old hairpin it's going to be Daniels, with the inside, but Hughes with the overspeed on the outside. He gets some gravel, gets sideways, but he's going to hold it, and then Clark Williams is going to clear Tompkins behind as well by going sideways in the gravel. They're all over each other. Here comes Daniels up the inside, and there's a piece flying on the tractor. I don't know if that was from these guys or if that was left by somebody else, but Daniels just ran straight over it, and they're back to single file again. But these guys are just all over each other as we're just past halfway now. Got 9.5 laps to go, 9.5 laps completed, and it's all kicking off everywhere. Here comes Daniels again, trying to set up a pass on Lee Hughes. I don't know if it's going to be close enough to make it easy this time. He's going to have a look up the inside though. Nothing too much going to happen though. He's going to stay in line, so for just a minute they're going to cool it down slightly.
Just looking at the leaders, Benny Simmons and Anthony Cat, it's closer than it's been in a long time here. Looking here from the roll bar of Anthony Cat's car onto Benny Simmons' gearbox. He's seen most of this race, but he is closer than ever right now, within 0.2 of a second of Benny Simonson, and there's traffic up ahead. This could play into Anthony Cat's hands, Linus. This could definitely be a big advantage here for second place, if he can time this right. Oh, spinning car! Off the track, all good. So, but there's still lap traffic ahead.
There is. The leaders, they've been kind of working together all race long, it seems. When Cat caught up, he's just been sitting there. He's been having some looks, but he's not really wanting to do anything. He backed off slightly and then he caught back up. so I don't really know who's the quickest of the two at the minute. But it doesn't look like Cat wants to make a move. Maybe he wants to wait until later, but they are pulling away here in the lead. They're about 2/10 a lap quicker than Pattinson in third. Last lap, Pattinson was actually equal on pace, but they're usually about 1 to 2 tenths quicker than Pattinson, so they're just doing a good job here working together. You can see now Cat, oh, he's finally going to make a move. He's going to look up the inside. They're going to be neck and neck, and you can see Simonson, he just backs out to give Cat the lead, to cost him as little time as possible. So these two definitely working together as usual. They know exactly what they're doing up here. The lap traffic, I think they're going to work through that pretty good as well. With each other, because these two, they're used to racing together, and they're both pretty smart. And on that lap again, they pulled another 10th on Pattinson back in third.
Absolutely, and we're just looking back at the group in 25th through to about 20th here. They're all over each other yet again. Baranowski at the back with Mark Redford, Seth Brown, Simon Maltby, Adam Miles, and a big scatter there as we get one over the apex at the curl corner there. I'll have to slow down. Loses his spot there. I believe that was going to be... I lost who that was, actually. I think that might have been a lap car diving out of the way there, but they are... Actually, no, that was Adam Koval who just lost that spot there, unfortunately, in the 27th, but just up ahead of them, around Baranowski. Big fighting going on amongst this group here, just behind him there. 85 right up the back end. Adam Miles looking for the opportunity. Should have a look here to the corner if he could find some overspeed. Or maybe up towards Koval. Or Coppice corner, sorry, I should say. Koval, I've got the driver, not the corner. As they head up towards under the bridge, they'll come up through now, and there's two opportunities I think here before the end of the lap leaders in the straight. But with how close they are, I think we should see a pass at least into the chicane. Yeah,
we saw Adam Koval again there as well. He's for some reason pulled over and stopped. I'm not really sure what happened there, but these guys still going at it, coming up now onto the straightaway again. And they've sort of spread out here for some reason. Baranowski now a little bit all by himself. Build a bit of a gap to Miles, and he's got a bit of a gap to Brown ahead. Just ahead, I believe that's Maltby Redford going at it as well. But nothing really, these guys are starting to spread out for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely are. Everything's just filtering back a little bit. I think the energy has kind of burned out of this a little bit. The big fighting slowed down. Will Redford on pit road. Not sure what's wrong with his car. Looking towards Clark Williams here. This group are neck and neck. Look at this. They are absolutely nose to gearbox right now. This four-car train of Daniels, Williams, Tompkins, Anderson here. As we see a move by Clark Williams, an aggressive move by Williams to the outside. Nearly off the track there, but holds his position. This could be an advantage on a slightly faster line into Coppice. But looks like it might not pay off hugely as he loses a spot to not one, but possibly two. Here comes the 17 of, well, Tompkins and Lee Anderson looking for a shot. 3 wide.
Here we go. That's going to be up the middle for Tompkins, and behind him as well. Edwards is closing in. There's contact. Tompkins going sideways. Daniel straight into the side of Williams. They're all going to die here. Stop it, Williams. Oh, I thought he was going to back onto the track. He's just managed to stop it in time, but that's all 3 of them out of this race. You can see the wheels on Daniels there pointing in every single direction. Here we go on the replay. Coming in late here. Tompkins in the middle there, just squeezed a bit too tight together, and Williams just managed to stop it in time there, so that's going to promote the guys behind him up 3 spots each. Here we go again. It's Tompkins up the middle. Daniels on the inside. Daniels just moving a little bit much to the left, and there's really nothing you can do. And then he just goes backwards across the track, and they actually make contact before Tompkins comes back on the track. But that's going to promote Anderson back up into P number 5. As you can see, we're on board with him. Daniels just the 47 moving a little bit much too far over to the left. That's very unfortunate for all of them. But Anderson up into P number 5, and Simon Edwards up into P number 6 as well now, as we're back here now with the leaders. It's Benny Simonson and Anthony Cat going at it. Simonson going to be up the inside now of Cat, and you can see there Cat just backs out, gives him the lead. It's there are actually not too many laps to go. They're coming to 5 laps to go here, but these two are still working together to hold on to this lead that they've got ahead of Ewan Pattinson, who's actually started to close in. This lap he was 4 tenths quicker than leaders. Actually, that was last lap, sorry. This time he was only 3 tenths quicker than Anthony Cat, so he's closing in again. It's still 3-second gap, but he is closing in, so these two doing a good job working together, but they are being chased down by Pattinson.
Absolutely are. Pattinson trying to do everything he can here to close his gap, and it will come down with time, I think, and there is a lot of lap traffic ahead of them. Just behind here, Edwards and Anderson going side by side there for position, as it'll be Edwards taking that spot back again, move him up to 5th place here, as behind him Daniel Tuff's still in on this one, as is Martin Booker. SJ Dunning also in this group now, so we've got a tight grouping here from 9th up to 5th place, and looks like Tuffs would like that spot from Anderson as well. He's knocking on the door.
Yeah, this is really the main group now. Even though we lost 3 of the runners in this group, it's still a pretty big group of 5 cars. They've spread out a bit over the lap, but now down the straight, they're all going to close right back up. It's Anderson chasing down Edwards, who's made a great recovery back up to 5th after that early incident he had. Here they come now down the straight. Anderson actually peeking out of the draft. It doesn't look like he wants to close up too much on Edwards here, and Tuff's behind him as well, not doing too much either. So we got a car off ahead as well there. But that's a lap car pulling out of the way nicely. Not really sure how he ended up all the way out there. As we have a car way in the grass there, that's Tuffs, and he's going to hold it straight way sideways, but he's going to keep it straight and back onto the track. He's going to move across to Booker, but he's going to stop just in time. I didn't think he saw Booker there. Thankfully he did, so they're side by side for P number 7, but Tuffs is going to hold on to that, so that's definitely going to help Edwards and Anderson ahead to pull away. Now Booker in the gravel slightly out of turn number 1, but he's going to hold on to that as well. So little mistake there from Tuffs, and that cost him almost a second to these guys ahead, about 7 or 8 tenths actually. But if they start battling, he's going to close right back up again there. But interesting to see there, Anderson did not want to put the draft on Edwards, sorry, and pass him. So not really sure what the plan was there, if he's hoping to pull away from the guys behind, or if he just thinks he doesn't have the speed.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just crazy what we're seeing on the racetrack tonight. Very busy action from these guys, and just giving it absolutely everything they have. We've seen it all the way up and down the field from 25th, 26th, that battle we had there, that group, on and off for a while. We've seen it further back. We're seeing 2s and 3s all over the field, and the guys are just really in these nets of speed with each other. Some might be still here fighting out with Mark Redford and Seth Brown behind him there. But further up the field, this one is still going at it. You know, Richard Kent there, Tom Bridle, they're still going at it in 10th and 11th place, just as the group are. Lee Anderson actually now going to be looking to make a move here on Edwards, if he can get it up the inside for Redfield. He does. Oh God, this is tight. Someone made me in contact. Oh, Edwards had to give him a lot more room than realistically was necessary. It's a big sling up the inside there by Lee Anderson. Aggressive pass, but he nails it. Nice work.
And just like that, Tuffs and Booker and Dunning right back on the back of these two. They had about half a second at the line. Now it's down to nothing. So one little move and that's it. And great move there from Anderson to take that position away from Edwards. But Edwards right there still. He's going to try and get that back again as we're coming up the hill now onto the last straightaway here pretty soon, and coming to 2 laps to go. They've been going at it all race long, these guys. See who will have the lead coming down the straightaway, but we need to keep looking at the leaders. Here we go. They've started the battle. It's going to be Simonson holding on to it, though. Cat had a look. There's a lap car in the way as well. Cat did not want to make the pass with that lap car being in the way, but 2 laps to go for the race leaders here. See if Cat can do anything, because now I don't think they're going to be working together anymore. They've still got about 2 seconds on Ewan Pattinson. So he's closed that gap a lot. He actually closed it down 6 tenths of a second on that lap, but it's not going to be enough, as he only has 2 more laps to gain over 2 seconds. So Simonson actually pulled a bit of a gap there thanks to that lap car, but I think Cat is going to close up pretty quickly as they're coming on to Starkey Straight again here for the second to last time pretty soon. A couple more corners to go, but I think that's going to be Cat's best option. I don't know if he wants to do it now though, or if he's going to wait until the last lap. That's going to be interesting to see how he plans it out, but here he goes. Getting
a lot closer here. I think it's going to be one of those opportunities, Linus, where he'll have to give it where the car wants to, and right now I just don't think he's close enough to make that move. They're coming up on some lap traffic again, and even some more ahead. They may reach by the end of the race, but I doubt. But it's all going to be huge if and or maybes. He's not going to catch him this time. It will have to be next time by if he can get there. Good shot through the chicane here. He might have him in Redfields, but it's going to be a really, really big ask as he gets a great run there through the chicane. This is what Anthony Cat needed.
Definitely, he's right on the back of Simonson, but is he going to make the move? He's going to look up the inside, but he's going to back out. He does not want to make the move. I think he wants to save it until the straightaway. But then there needs to be no lap traffic ahead, and he needs the perfect exit out of Skippys onto that straightaway. And he needs to be right on the back of Simonsen, which he's not now. You can see here, there's quite a few car lengths in between them. So he needs to close that gap up as soon as he can. The cars behind him still going side by side for 4th and 5th, but we're 5th and 6th, sorry. But we're going to try and follow these leaders here now in this short final lap, see what Cat will do. He's closing in slightly, but Simonsen hitting the lines just like he has to, just like he needs to. Perfectly. Cat getting some gravel a bit tighter here now into turn number 7. McLean's now up into Skippys. This is the corner where it will count. Who's going to get the best exit? Benny Simonsen has no lap cars ahead that he will get draft from, so it's all about the exit here. What will Cat do? He's going to be a little bit tighter. It looks like Simonsen is going to have slight overspeed. He's going to go way over to the right. Anthony Cat is going to get enough draft. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to have to throw it at him. Otherwise, Benny Simonsen is going to get 2 in a row. It's not going to be enough. Benny Simonsen through the final chicane. He's going to hit it perfectly. Anthony Cat is going to have a look. There's a lap car crashed in the wall, but it's going to be Benny Simonsen 2 in a row. His 3rd of the season.
Oh, behind him. Behind them. Look at this. 3 wide into the chicane for the next group here. This is Patterson, Hughes, Edwards, Anderson.
Oh.
Anderson goes off. Edwards up in the next group here, and this one is absolutely crazy here. Didn't mean to cut away from the leaders, but this just went to 11, Linus. Oh my gosh. That was a finish.
That was a great finish to the end of that group. Further back as well. Well, the other group seems to have spread out. We have a slow car coming here to the finish line. That's Cox. He's going to hold off the guys behind him, though. That's catching up. But that was a pretty interesting race till the end there. And there's battles going on all the way through the field. Well, we had a 3 wide there as well, but that's lap car. So it's actually Langford going at it with Cowell still here for P25, 26. They're going to be side by side. Langford up the inside. Cowell not going to be able to really hold him off. So Cowell going to get P25 in the last point scoring position, I believe that is for. So pretty important move from him there to get that final point as well. But great racing all the way through the field apart from the lead, because they just seem to be not wanting to do anything. As you get a replay here all the way from McLean's turn number 7 for that group. The battle it out. See Lee Anderson here on the inside, Edwards being on the outside. Then it's the 34 of Tufts having a look right behind him there. They're coming down the straightaway, and they made it 3 wide into that chicane. You can see, oh, we've made it to the grass there. Tufts, I believe that is, and they almost made it 4 wide. What a move that was. That was actually Dunning up the inside to get P number 5. So that was really important move. And then Anderson tries to cut him behind him, just hits him, and thankfully he's able to keep on going and finish in P number 9. But that was a great move from Dunning to force that.
Yeah, absolutely was. It was a fantastic end to the race here. And it's been a fantastic race all day long, Linus. Donington Park always produces fantastic racing. It's tight, it's confined, even if we're on the GP layout. This place is just a racer's track.
Definitely is. Well, before we go to your post-race results, for your post-race interviews, let's go through the post-race results. It's Benny Simonsen coming away with the win, about 1/4 of a second ahead of Anthony Cat, and Ewan Pattinson managed to close up a little bit there in the end, coming home in 3rd. Lee Hughes, pretty quiet race in 4th, and then Dunning with that amazing move for P number 5. Edwards comes home in P number 6. Martin Booker in 7th. Daniel Tufts P number 8. Lee Anderson recovers to 9th, and Paul Grillo wins that second battle for P number 10. Then it's Tom Bridle in P11, Dave Kirkman P12, Matt Cox in 13th, Ashley Beard in 14th, Andrew Herbst in 15th, Nicholas Von Roberts in 16th, Richard Kent P17, Mark Redford 18th, Seth Brown in 19th, and Simon Maltby rounding out the top 20. The rest of the result there will be up on your screen, and well, most of the drivers that had incidents early on managed to recover. Von Roberts up to 16th, Paul Grillo up to 10th, Edwards finished in 6th, so they all did pretty good jobs, but still have not figured out what happened to Anthony PM Jones, as he never showed up back on the track. So try and figure out what happened there, but very unfortunate for him to not start. But other than that, amazing race all day long, and well, it does not look like there's going to be...
Oh, look at this! My God, the 3-wheel is the Robin Reliant race here at the back of the field.
Oh,
that is
last car's coming
impressive.
across the line. Look at that.
It's not the only one. It's 2 of them, I think.
2 of them, wow.
Yep, 2 of them, 2 3-wheelers. It's a Robin Reliant support race. There you go. It is Donington Park. It is a British racetrack. It would be a miss if we didn't have something as silly as a Robin Reliant race at the end. Well, congratulations to those 2 guys for finishing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive as they're now just crashing themselves out of this.
Actually, Linus, do you remember when we were at Alton Park? I actually got that print of Schumacher's Ferrari with the 3 wheels at Monaco.
Oh, nice.
Do you remember me buying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that up on my wall.
That was actually Adam Miles cruising across the line on 3 wheels.
That's how Skippys make go-karts.
That was Adam Miles and Christopher Miles. So the 2 Miles had a bit of family fun there. But anyways, does not look like we are going to get any post-race interviews here today. I believe Simon is pretty upset with that early incident. And he's usually the only one showing up. So any final thoughts, Rachel, on this outstanding race that we just saw?
Well, I will go by Rachel if you wish, but it was a fantastic race. Always is here at Donington Park, a fantastic event, and I absolutely loved it. That was great racing to watch. Roll on next week.
Definitely was. Next week, Nürburgring Nordschleife. That's going to be a very interesting, very long race. 3 laps around the longest track on the circuit, I believe, for us. Same time, same place, live here on RaceSpotTV. Hope you can join us then. I've been Linus Broström, joined as always by Rachel Whitefoot here in the booth, with Hugo Luis doing the amazing work on the cameras. So until then, stay safe and have a good week, and we'll hope to see you at Nürburgring. Goodbye.